So, yeah.
Hello and welcome to the world of Animal Crossing New Horizons on the Nintendo Switch. I'm joined by Emma Budd and Toni Atanasova, two Animal Crossing aficionados. Hello, thanks for joining me, guys.
Hey.
Give people at home a little wave. We're going to be doing some island tours today. We're looking at both of your islands. You've both been revamping them slightly with some content from the spooky Halloween update. And yeah, we just thought we'd have a look around, check out your island. For those of you who aren't familiar, Animal Crossing is the smash hit game that came out this year, which basically gives you an island to play with. You can decorate your island however you want. You can collect turnips, other inspirational life goals besides turnips, I imagine. And these two are big fans, so I knew I had to get them on the show. And this is Toni's I'm looking at first, so I'm going to throw to her. Toni, what are we looking at here?
Well, this is my island, called Anavrin. Named after the shop in the show You, so some people might find that a recognizable name. So just on my way to the Halloween area that I have been working on. On the other side is just the big old mess with all the flowers, so I'm not showing that off. So as you probably see, my island is going to be covered in pumpkins and lanterns and all the spooky items.
Nice. So you're giving us the best bits. You've
you
hidden all the
away.
mess somewhere else.
Yes.
Like when someone comes
very
around.
strategically.
You've really embraced Halloween and the update. It's amazing.
It's my favorite season, so I can't really celebrate it in the same way in real life. So I kind of had to go all out on my island.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I think Animal Crossing's going to be replacing Halloween parties and trick-or-treating this year for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really nice because I could have my friends over on my island, have a little celebration. And we've been doing that all over the past few months.
And you've been playing Animal Crossing since it launched? Like this is an island many months in the making?
Too many months in the making, yeah. Since first day of release I've been playing. And there is still so much to do. It's just never ending.
Do you know how many hours you've spent playing it? It looks like a lot of work.
I'm embarrassed to admit it, too many. I think I have about 450 so far.
I mean, it's so impressive. I mean, you've got a maze, like that takes time, but it's so worth it.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is a pretty simple maze, but I just had to fill the empty space around, so I thought I'd give a little bit of a cornfield, spooky maze vibe.
Yeah, you know, you've got
and then the rest is clowns and circus-themed items, which spook me in real life.
Conquering your own fears.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you a big fan of this update then, I take it? I mean, you must be, because you've used all these items all over the place. I'm guessing you're a fan.
Yeah, definitely. I think a few months ago we were all kind of making fun of Nintendo for not giving us pumpkins and making memes about oranges instead, and how we're going to decorate with that. But they got us. They got the update, and it's really exciting. And there is just so much to do. And I'm loving the farming element with all the pumpkins as well.
You mentioned, or you kind of hinted there at what a strange year this has been for people. 2020, obviously one for the history books, and maybe not in ways people would like. It's meant so much to so many people this year in terms of isolation and just, because it's been so scary outdoors. But I'd like to get some words from both of you, if possible, like maybe starting with you, Toni. What has this meant to you in 2020? Like, how important has Animal Crossing been?
Honestly, that's what got me through the past few months, I think, and it came out right at the beginning of lockdown, I think, and either Nintendo knew something that we didn't know, or they got really lucky with that release date, because it just came at the right time. And for me personally, it was just the escape, because outside it was crazy, not being able to see my friends. And I'm lucky because a lot of them actually have the game, so we were able to kind of have our parties on the island and visit each other's islands and water plants and just have a conversation while doing that. And I actually reconnected with a lot of people that I had lost touch with beforehand as well. So it's been great.
Yeah, that is
Really
good.
nice.
So this is Emma's island. We've now transitioned.
Oh.
Emma, do you want to tell us what's
was-
going on here?
I saw everyone playing Animal Crossing throughout lockdown, and I was like, I've got to give in and get this. So I bought a Switch, bought Animal Crossing, and I've started. So I'm quite new. So my island is nothing like Tony's island. It's very early days, I would say. I don't know what my hours are in gameplay, actually. It scares me to look sometimes. So, but I'm definitely in the early days. So I'm trying to grow some hybrid flowers over here. Although I've got a new technique for that. The 5x5 grid, apparently. It's not the... I watched a lot of YouTube videos. Animal Crossing has just basically taken over my life. But there's something just so therapeutic about playing it, I think. You know, planting flowers, watering flowers. You'll see my pumpkin patch down here, which, you know, it's got like the farming element of it. It's just, you can just switch off while you're playing it, which I've loved. And I can see why it's meant so much to so many people. It's just so wholesome, isn't it? It's, you know...
It really is. It's kind of a way to relax and switch off completely and meditate as well.
Although, I would say it is that, but then also I'm like, gotta have the best island. I want to have a really good island. You know, this is an example of wholesomeness. Sherb is probably my favourite islander. Let's have a little chat with
he's
them.
adorable.
He's so cute. But I think what I really need is some tips to how do you get an island as good as yours, Tony? That's the question.
Oh goodness, too many hours I think is the answer.
Give up your life.
I'm ready to do that. There's nothing else to do this year. I'm ready to dedicate my life to Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I think 2020 is cancelled. So it's time to dedicate our life to Animal Crossing farming. I just spend a lot of time on Instagram and YouTube and look at other people's islands and what they do, and also just looking at things that I like, so places that I miss in real life. For example, where I live we have a rock garden, so at one point I recreated that so I could visit that in game because I couldn't go out to visit it. So stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea, taking inspiration from...
You've got a few jack-o'-lanterns around here, Emma, and you've started planting hybrid flowers. What's next? What's the next thing you're going to start playing with on your island?
Well, what I've now unlocked is the terraforming, which means that you can create paths, you can create rivers, you can add cliff edges, which I think at the time of recording this did a couple of paths. That's about it. Now the pressure's on because I can actually change the landscape of my island, which I hadn't been able to do up until this point. So I'm always just overwhelmed with it though. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of pressure now to make my island really good. I can actually do things to it. It's not just shaking trees anymore. It is actually, I've got the ability. So probably, like Tony says, watching a lot of YouTube and looking on Instagram for inspiration and then getting stuck in many more hours to come. But there's also, I mean, you probably know more about this, more to come from the autumn update, and then Christmas stuff, which I can only imagine is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I've already spoiled it for myself, so I've looked at the items and they are going to be really cool. So you've joined at the right time.
It is still, I'm late to the party somewhat, but it is still really exciting to have, you know, be part of gameplay in the first year of this version of Animal Crossing anyway. So there is stuff that's coming out that's new. Seems to be the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, the game's definitely...
Adam, are you tempted to you've got a Switch, but you haven't...
I do own a Switch, and I don't own Animal Crossing. I played a lot of Spiritfarer earlier this year, which was a similar kind of itch for me. I think actually it scares me seeing how much time you've put into it, Emma.
Yeah, I haven't got.
I don't have time to do all that and keep up my other hobbies.
Yeah, I would say just the life admin chores are about an hour a day before you've even done anything else.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this is scratch an itch that I had from playing The Sims a lot as a teenager. And then things like Farmville I used to be a fan of. So it's definitely a certain type of game, like Spiritfarer. You probably don't need both. I think I'm just going in a couple of villagers' houses here.
Yeah. I mean, I think your islands both look great. And I think people at home will be wondering, how can people get in touch with you guys if they want to come and explore your islands? They can do that, right? They have to tweet you? Is that how it works?
I think I can, yeah.
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at EmmaBird.
And I'm also on Twitter, Swirling Firefly.
There you go. If you're watching now, you're liking the look of these islands, you want to visit someone, hit them up on Twitter, get yourself an invite, and yeah, I think we'll call it there. Thanks you so much for joining me, guys. I really enjoyed this look at both of your islands, and we're going to throw it back to the live show now, back in the studio, and we will see you again soon in the next video. Bye!